So welcome everybody, whether you're on Facebook or Zoom with us. We're going to get into a little breath work and relaxation and community and healing with my new friend, Angelique. I don't even know if I can call her my friend at this point, but my teacher and somebody who I can feel the healing energy from. So Angelique is a local teacher here in Indiana, where I live, and I just randomly kind of signed up for her classes, not having any clue what restorative yoga, but just the name in itself to me yields, I need that. So who doesn't need some restoration? So Angelique, welcome. Before we get started, just a reminder to everybody, thanks for joining us. ITSAN is bringing this opportunity to all of us, and we'll see how it works and how it serves us. And hopefully it's something that's really positive as we're all, especially right now, either going through topical steroid withdrawals and always benefiting from community and healing opportunities, or if it's just a matter of we're caregivers or whatever, family members that are all kind of stuck together in the same tight spaces right now, it's always a good thing to come together in the spirit of healing. So before we start, just the same disclaimer that I always say, guys, remember that everything that we offer to you on behalf of ITSAN is offered to support you, serve you, not to diagnose, treat, or prescribe anything. So fellow warriors, welcome to our breathwork session. I am so happy and delighted that we do this. Any connection right now, physical distancing is completely social connection, and I know that I'm like yearning for it, and I thrive when I can just know that together there's some sense of community right now, and we're focused on being well and not being sick. So Angelique, will you just kind of introduce yourself, kind of tell us your background experience briefly, and then I've got a few questions for you because this may be very new to some folks, and I'm a rookie, and so I just want to make sure we understand who's helping us today.
Well, first of all, thank you very much for inviting me into your community to meet new friends. Absolutely, I consider you a friend. I really am honored that you have invited me to meet your other friends in this network and in this community. My name is Angelique. I am 48 years old. I have 2 grown children. I began my foray, I guess, into yoga and healing my own body when I was in my second pregnancy. Gosh, how old is my son now? 27, so probably 28 years ago. I ruptured L4, L5 lumbar discs while I was pregnant. Super fun.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't really get treatment right away. Went to a chiropractor a couple of years after my son was born, having in the middle of another, episode of severe back pain. I didn't really like the chiropractor, but the physical therapy exercises that he was giving me were yoga based. I recognized them from watching Lilius on PBS when I was a child. Mm-hmm. And I knew that I could get those anywhere. So I ended up having a private practice, private yoga practice in my home alone for about 15 years. At that point, I was going through some major life changes, got a divorce, had, my kids were teenagers at that point. And I met some people who were runners, and they basically shamed me into running because I hate running. But I was like, well, yeah, I don't, why would I do that unless tigers were chasing me? So I started running and training with them, and they found out that I did yoga. And so they asked me to teach them how to stretch. And in doing that, I found out that I was actually teaching some real athletes, people who were using their bodies as their income. That was their source of revenue. And so I had, professional Ironmen and professional weightlifters and people who really needed information to help their bodies recover. And I didn't want to give them bad information. So rather than just relying on my 15 years of healing my own body from chronic pain and dealing with chronic pain, I went ahead and started teacher training. And so I got my 200-hour certification and my 500-hour certification in the same year, basically within the same 12 months, which is crazy. If there are any other people that are familiar with yoga teacher training, that's nuts. Yeah, so I tend to do dumb stuff like that. But I also did some Thai massage training as a result of the 500-hour certification program, because I wanted to be able to provide some sort of hands-on adjustment and modification and get comfortable with that. And I ended up loving Thai massage so much that I now offer that to people as an additional service of what I can provide. So all of that distills itself into my classes where I met you as, you know, an hour or 75 minutes of restorative yoga with Thai massage added in. And basically what that means is we slow down the basic yoga, the traditional yoga, to a point where you don't have to force yourself into a pose. You literally let yourself relax in and settle into a position and then breathe. And it's even more subtle than a yin class, because I don't know how familiar people are with yoga in your community, but you've got that fitness level yoga that you do at the gym. And then you've got, you know, several gradients down through slow flows and strength training. And I mean, there's a yoga for every different kind of person. If you want to sweat, there's hot yoga. But what I'm doing is not that. We are...
This is why you're here.
Exactly. I don't, you know, I don't want people to sweat in my class. I don't want people to work out in my class. If you are hurting, you're not healing. So we're breaking a lot of Eastern view or Western views of what yoga needs to be. This is not fitness. Although there are some people who have told me, oh my gosh, I held that stretch for so long, I didn't think it was that big of a deal, but the next day I was definitely feeling it.
Yeah.
So, but what I want people to do, what I want people to come away with is more of a grounding sense of what their body is doing in the moment. One of my teachers told me while I was in training, we all go through these experiences in life, and our bodies make a physical response to them. So we have an emotional response in our head. That's what our mind is going through. And we have a physical sensation in our body. And the two of those combine for feelings. So that's the feeling that we have when we're excited and we meet someone and we have that tingle or those butterflies in our belly and we're like, oh my gosh, this is my brand new BFF. Mm-hmm. That's the feeling of meeting that new person. And then, or if we are, you know, we're having a confrontation at work and we can't tell our coworker that they're being a complete idiot, we get this tightness in our throat and we're feeling anger or frustration, but the physical sensation is here. And sometimes those physical sensations can get bunged up or stuck a little bit. And so in my class, we acknowledge any physical sensation that comes into our awareness for any reason. And then we let the breath begin to make changes in our body. And it takes a minute to settle down into that awareness and find a little bit of grounding. And then to talk your brain into letting go of some of those experiences and stories and histories and judgment words and all those kinds of things, and just let your body reconnect. Your brain, your central nervous system is engineered to heal your body from the inside out. That's our parasympathetic. That's rest and digest, or feed and breed. It's called several different things, but we can only do those things when we slow down and we get quiet and we breathe and our breath changes. We don't need to do anything for that reaction to happen. But we can also, that's one of the miracles of our body, we can also initiate that reaction just by slowing down our body, slowing down our breath. And then we have these small hour-long moments, 15-minute moments, where we take the time to do that. And then over time, the more we do that, then our body starts to learn to do it automatically. So when we are trying to confront that coworker and we're experiencing frustration or anger, we might feel that sensation in our throat for a minute, but it doesn't have to get stuck there.
Yes.
So we breathe through it. We start to let the body filter through all that stuff and let it go away. We teach ourselves, again, we teach what our body already knows. We get it in our head that we don't need to hold on to that stuff ever. Yeah. We don't need to hold on to it.
Yeah. And I noticed, I think just personally going to restorative yoga, which I want to say hi to Kathy, particularly our ITSAN president is joining us. So hi, Kathy. And Nina.
Welcome, hi, everyone.
Nina. Nina's a celebrity with us as well, so in this particular group of this community that you're talking to today, going through topical steroid withdrawals, our entire physical body is completely engaged in, we have phases we come in and out of, and one of the frustrating things is that it takes a lot of time to heal.
Yes.
This is a long process and there's no end date. So we then engage a lot of the mental stories and grief and trauma. All of these things really get wrapped up into the physical experience because we start out very steadfast, like have this physical moment, I'm going to do this, I can get through this. And then years go by and as you heal and there's no linear progress. Sometimes you fall down like hard. So we have this constant, like you said, the mental and this part, and Nina was saying like our 7 bodies. And so what we need in our community is this opportunity to, one, have strategies and resources, because things get bottled and stuck in us in different spaces, depending on whether we're just surviving because physically we're in so much pain, or whether we're dealing with the grief of we lost a loved one because they can't handle our situation anymore, or we had to give up our career, whatever. So there's a lot going on. And what I noticed, the reason I wanted to invite you into our community is when I came to you for those couple of sessions, I realized that one, I used to think I hated yoga, and I feel bad saying that, but it was because I was going to the fitness yoga.
Yeah.
And when our bodies are in this condition that they can be in, sweating can be one of the hardest things for us. There's times when sweating is great, but a lot of this, it's like sweating is the last thing we need or want to do.
Right.
And so we have to find the right kind of yoga for us. And so when I came to your session a couple of times, I'm like, I just laid there. When I kind of started to realize what it was, I'm like, how am I supposed to lay here and not itch for an hour? This is not going to work for me. But there was so much like mental clarity that I got to get through, and so much with just breath work. And I remember I said to you after one of the classes that I said, it's so funny how, just a little bit of movement, I feel so much better afterwards, thinking that it was all the poses. And you said, well, the poses are just kind of for you to feel yoga. Like, really, it's the breath work. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
What?
The poses distract your brain.
Okay.
The poses distract your brain because we, in our society, again, Western yoga, we need to move. We need to complete or compete or progress or do.
Mm-hmm.
And so my class, I give you something to do. You have to sit in a pose. You have to actually get into what your physical body is doing, but that's outside of your breath. when you can connect your breath to what your body is doing, then your brain starts, your central nervous system starts to say, oh, this spot here needs attention. This spot here needs attention. And you really get honed in to what is going on into your body. Once your body settles down, then was it Nina that said 7 bodies?
Yeah.
Yeah, so then you can start thinking about when your physical body is grounded and centered, then you can start reaching out to the emotional body and the spiritual body and that universal body that connects us all. And then things really start to make sense. But it's, you know, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. If your base isn't set, and you're not grounded, and you don't know what's going on in all of this inside of your skin, then the rest of it's always going to feel kind of wonky, and it doesn't make sense. So just taking the time to breathe, and for some people, they need their body to be doing something to distract their brain, even just a little bit. Yeah. But it's incredible what that breath does when you just give it a chance. We are built to do this.
Yes.
We're built to heal ourselves.
Absolutely. And we know that because so many of us veterans, so to anybody out there that's in the thick of it, look at this face, look at these arms, look at these hands. Us veterans know that our bodies are meant to heal themselves, because most of us, we just abandon, in some ways, we abandon treatment that doctors have given to us with that knowing that, and the people that have gone before us, that we're going to heal in our community. So we rely on that very much. Nina, thanks for commenting. We can see your comments come up, guys. So if you have any comments, just keep throwing them in there, or questions. I just watched a podcast. We're going to get started pretty soon too, which all you need to do is have a comfortable spot, maybe a blanket, a pillow, in a comfortable spot for this. But hi, Jody. I want to say hi to you too. Our secretaries here from our board. I'm so happy the board members are here with us today. Yeah, it's probably because we all have time. Imagine that. We have time to be here. But
you know, everybody's stressed out about all of this, and I'm like, you know what? This is golden time. We have been complaining about, oh, if I just had time, if I just had time. Y'all have time now. You know, this is what we have all been putting into the universe. Hi, if you guys haven't thought about that yet, I'm not trying to blow minds here. I'm just saying. Yeah. We all have time now. We are spending time with our kids. We're eating together as families. We are connecting with people because we're all craving that now. We didn't realize, but this is what we're all supposed to be doing. So take advantage of this and switch the thought in your head. You don't have to be stressed out. You're home. You're safe. Everything is fine. Nature is outside doing what nature is supposed to be doing. It is not worrying about germs.
Yeah. Well, and honestly, when I think back a couple years ago, if I could have been quarantined to my house while I was in the worst depths of this, I mean, the hardest part was trying to find time to take off of work to heal or to do what I needed to do. So for our community, it is my hope that a lot of you are finding this extra ounce of time, and like it's like a general forgiveness for what we need to lay around and not feel guilt or any other hesitation. I pray so much that it's going to just speed up healing and recovery for so many of us. So Hannah, I'm recognizing your name, and I just want to say hi. I can't remember if I don't think it's your birthday today, but you had a comment the other day that I responded back to. So I just see your name, and I'm just thinking about you and hoping that you're feeling well today. So, okay. So Angelique, should we go ahead and get started?
Does anybody have questions? Did you want to do question and answer before we got started with the practice, or after, so that we can kind of talk about what the experience was?
Yes. If anybody has any questions or you're concerned, I think right now it's one of those things, if you'll just take the leap of faith with me, you're here. So I feel like you've been obviously intrigued, or maybe this is familiar to you already, so you're ready to go. And then afterwards, if you have any questions for Angelique of how we could kind of continue this on our own, I know that this will be recorded in there so you can replay and do the session 50 times if you want to, but we're ready to dive in, I think. Angie, it's you. So happy birthday, Angie. I'm glad you're here. She said, yeah, she's like, oh, wow, perfect timing for my birthday. So yeah, see, you get a party after all, and it's with a whole group of people. So happy birthday, Angie. Afterwards, if you have questions, we'll go ahead and ask them, and then, you know, we can talk a little bit more about it. So let's, oh, and Nina, yours is next week. Yay, happy birthday to everybody. Here we are. Okay, so
much
let us
celebrating. I love
begin.
it.
Yes.
Okay, so I just want to say, make sure that you are wearing comfortable clothes. This is not, I am not the yoga spandex guru. I usually look like a refugee when I teach. I've got loose sweats on and I'm, you know, all cotton. Let yourself be comfortable. That's the first thing. If you are in a spot where you can lay down on the couch or just find a comfy seat somewhere, we're not going to do a whole lot of moving today. A little bit, but not a lot, which is true for all of my classes. My daughter says that my spirit animal is a sloth. So whatever movement that we do is always super slow. Listen to what your body is saying. That's the whole point of what I do. And trust that your body will give itself exactly what it needs, exactly when it needs it. So I want to invite everyone to close their eyes if they're comfortable closing their eyes. And we'll just begin to notice what we notice. So there might be some physical sensations that immediately come to mind. Give yourself the space to acknowledge those without any judgment. Try not to name that physical sensation. Just allow it to be whatever it's going to be. We all have these more intense sensations that we deal with every day, moment to moment, and they change, and they're meant to. Our bodies are alive. We're changing all the time. So just let yourself recognize what's coming into your awareness. Notice the temperature. And then without making any changes or adjustments, notice the breath that brings you into this practice. Notice what rises or expands as you breathe in. Notice what softens or contracts as you breathe out. Notice the rhythm and pace of that breath. Again, no need to change it just yet. Just notice what your body is doing in these first few moments. And then as we begin to settle into these few moments of stillness, let yourself become aware of more subtle sensations in the body. Take your awareness out to the tips of your toes. Notice the sensations through the soles of your feet, the tops of your feet. Notice as those flow into the ankles and the lower legs. Notice any sensations swirling around the knees, through the thighs. Follow those sensations into the hips and let the brain slowly reconnect through the entire legs. Notice the sensations in the pelvis and in the lower belly. Follow the sensations through the organs of digestion and filtering. Notice the movement that happens deep in the belly, following those sensations up toward the rib cage, becoming aware of the sensations as the heart and the lungs do their work. And then drawing your gentle focus out to your fingertips and following sensations through the hands, through the wrists, noticing the forearms and the elbows, following sensations into the shoulders, allowing the brain to reconnect, to filter through. Dropping your awareness into the tailbone, following sensation all the way along the length of the spine, through the lower back, the middle back, and the upper back, the space between the shoulder blades. Noticing sensations through the neck and the throat. Taking gentle focus to notice sensations over the scalp and the forehead, around the eyes, over the ears, through the joints of the jaw, down the cheeks, toward the center of the chin. Find those sensations around the mouth and through the tongue. And then notice the sensation of the air flowing in and out of your nose. We'll begin to make some intention with the breath here. Focusing in on our intention to allow the body to heal from the inside out. Trusting that our breath takes us to that place of healing and rejuvenation. So with our next inhalation, we'll begin to draw the breath deep into the belly. And whether you're sitting up or lying down, the belly will begin to expand. And then the rib cage begins to open up. The collarbones drift up. And when you're ready to release that breath, the collarbones drift down, the ribs hug into the heart, and the belly releases again toward the spine. Long, slow breath in, the belly expands up, out to the sides, out the back. The rib cage opens front to back. Collarbones rise. Exhale, releasing, softening the ribs, softening the belly. So there's no need to rush or force this new pace. Just allow the body to let the breath come as it comes, trusting your body to do exactly what you need, exactly when you need it. Long, slow breath in. Complete, gentle breath out. Deep inhalation, opening the belly, opening the chest. Long, slow exhalation, softening the chest and softening the belly. So we'll use this breath to flow through the movements in these next few moments. We don't need to rush or force our body. Let your breath set your pace. So as we breathe in, we'll let the spine get long And as we exhale, we'll just drop the chin down slightly, not all the way toward the chest, but just tucking it in toward the throat. And noticing any sensation from the bottom of the skull down the back of the neck between the shoulder blades. Inhale, bringing the chin up to level with the floor. And exhale, back down toward the throat. Noticing sensation in the back of the body. Inhale, letting the chin rise, and then maybe the chin lifts more toward the ceiling. Exhaling down, chin to throat. Your breath is your pace. Inhaling back to center. And then with the next exhale, we'll just turn the chin to the right. Noticing sensation in the left side of the neck. Inhaling the chin to center. Exhaling the chin to the left here. Inhaling the chin to center. And exhaling the chin to the right. So we're going to hold the chin here on this side. And with your next exhalation, let the chin dip down toward the right shoulder. And if you can stretch your your left hand down towards your left hip, notice the sensation from the left ear all the way to the left fingertips. Bring the hand closer to the body. Inhale the chin up and back to center. And then we'll exhale the chin over to the left side. Inhale here. With the next exhalation, let the chin drop down to the left shoulder. Inhale. As you exhale, maybe stretching out the right arm. Bringing the fingertips down to the floor. Noticing sensation from the right ear all the way into the right arm. Inhale, lifting the chin and coming back to center. So we'll do some shoulder rolls here. As you breathe in, let the shoulders come up toward the ears. Exhaling, rolling the shoulders back. Inhaling up and exhaling back. Inhaling the shoulders up and exhaling, rolling them back and down. So you can change the direction of this circle now, bringing the shoulders up from the back and then letting them round forward. Inhaling up and exhaling back. And then one more time, inhaling back and up, rounding the shoulders. So we're going to pause here, take a deep breath, let the spine get nice and long. And exhale, let the shoulder blades sink down the spine, melting the shoulders away from the ears. Noticing sensations in the neck and the shoulders. Noticing down the arms and into the fingers. Inhale and exhale, allowing the body to be soft. Imagining the breath coming into each of those sensations. Each of those sensations is like a bubble. And as you breathe in, that bubble expands. and opens until the edges of that sensation are imperceptibly thin. They dissolve. As you exhale slowly, that sensation breaks apart. Anything that's left over floats away from your body with the breath. Long, slow inhalation. Complete, gentle exhalation. Take a moment here and come into a comfortable seat. If you're seated on the ground, you can have a cross leg. If you're on your couch or a chair, then just let your feet rest comfortably on the floor. Take a deep breath in, sitting up tall. Let the spine get long. And as you exhale, we're just going to fold forward. Let the spine round. Let your arms come down to rest in front of you. Let the head hang here. And notice as the front of the body is compressed, the back body opens with the breath. So you'll feel a physical sensation in the low back, in the bottom of the rib cage, between the shoulder blades. And as you exhale, the spine begins to soften and round. The shoulders melt away from the center spine. The head begins to become heavy. Inhale, you create space between each segment of the vertebra in the spine. Exhale, softening to release down. One more round of breath. Inhale and exhale. With your next inhalation, use your hands on your legs, walking back up to sitting tall. Taking a breath in the center, allowing yourself to become still again. Long, slow inhalation. Complete, gentle exhalation. Inhale, and as you exhale, let your hands rest out at your sides. As we breathe in, we'll lift up both hands so that the arms are long overhead. Palms face each other. They don't have to touch if that's not comfortable for your shoulders. As you exhale again, let the hands stretch out at the sides, coming back down to the hips. Notice the sensations in the arms as we flow the arms up with the inhale and down with the exhale. Your breath is your pace. Let your arms move slowly and gently, stretching out through the fingertips and noticing sensations in the shoulders, in the side ribs. Inhale one more time and we'll leave both hands up overhead. Exhale, soften the shoulder blades down the spine, creating a little space between the arms and the side of your head. Inhale here and notice the sensation in the rib cage. A little bit of space created between each of the ribs as you breathe in. A little bit of softness in the ribs as you breathe out. Inhale, and as you exhale, the right hand comes to the floor and the left fingers stretch over to the left side. We're side bending here. Increasing that sensation from the left armpit down into the left hip, through the left fingers. Inhale, space in the ribs, space in the neck. Exhale, the head can drop. The arm can bend a little. With your next inhalation, when you're ready, come back up to center. Both hands, fingers stretch up as you inhale. Exhale, the left hand comes down this time. The right fingertips stretch over to the left side. Noticing sensation from the armpit out to the right fingertips. From the armpit down into the right hip. Deep inhale, space between each rib. And as you exhale, the head can soften, the arm can soften. Different sensations from one side to the other. Your body giving you exactly what you need, exactly where you need it. Inhaling, when you're ready, coming up to center. Both hands. And this time we're going to twist. So the right hand comes across to the left knee. That left hand can come behind you to support your spine. As you breathe in, let the spine get tall and long. And as you exhale, that twist happens from the pelvis, through the belly, through the ribs and the shoulders, through the neck and out through the chin. Inhale, opening sensation through the spine and the ribs, noticing what's happening in the hips and the low back. Exhaling, squeezing. Inhale, coming back to center, nice and slow, stretching the arms out. And we're coming into the opposite side. So I believe left hand is coming to the right knee, right hand comes behind. With the inhalation, the spine lengthens, getting tall. And with the exhalation, the body begins to twist from the pelvis, through the low back and the belly, through the ribs and the shoulders, through the neck and the chin. Inhale, noticing sensations through the back, through the chest, maybe even through the neck and the ears. As you exhale, the body squeezes. With your next inhalation, we'll come to center. Notice any sensations in the body. Send breath into each of those sensations. Trust that your breath can create change in every cell of your body, in every sensation. Each of those sensations represents an experience. And each of those experiences came into our lives to teach us a lesson, to nourish us, and to make us stronger. When our body has received every benefit of that experience, our breath filters through it. Whatever doesn't serve our body, leaves with the exhalation. Long, slow inhale. Let the breath move through. Find that nourishment. Exhaling out what no longer serves you. Long, slow inhalation. Learning the lessons from your body. Exhaling out what you no longer need. And take just a few moments of silence, letting go of any control of your breath, letting go of any physical sensation or thought. Sustaining a few moments of silent stillness. And when you're ready, open your eyes. You can take a few seconds of movement just to stretch your legs out or roll your shoulders, whatever you need. And when you're ready, we can talk about the experience. It wasn't very long.
Ah, good stuff. Oh, Tony says that was amazing.
Thank you, Tony.
Thank you. So I have a question for, well, I want anybody, Hannah, I'm glad you
Hannah.
if you have any questions about it. I was going to ask you, Angelique, I'm like coming out of it still. It feels so
Yeah,
good.
it takes a little while for the brain to wake back up. So
yeah, and start processing again. And I think that's what we especially desire in our community is being able to let go of the constant pain.
yes.
Like you kept saying, noticing the breath. And so I'm trying to visualize the breath as you're saying that, like going to different parts of my body. And
Yeah.
said, like, notice the sensation, but don't move. I go into panic mode. Like, I can't itch.
Yes.
Right? Can't.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that's kind of what I had to work through. I don't know if anybody else noticed that, because our skin is our whole body. It's like our largest organ.
Well, let me just say, you are allowed to move. This is your practice. This is your time. What I would encourage you to do when you're in that healing mode is to be mindful of your movements. So if you have to react to an itch or a sensation, slowly raise your hand. I am moving my hand. I am placing my hand on my skin. Move with intention. Okay. Because that's another physical sensation that has come into your awareness. Mm-hmm. None of it is bad. None of it has to be scary. Just move with intention in those few moments. And then every movement becomes part of your practice. Every movement is your body telling you what you need when you need it. So you're allowed all of it.
Okay. Yeah. We have permission. And I think it's just the beginning. And then my experience is that once I get going, I get so relaxed that then it's the, I guess one of the things I'm wondering is, like, when we do this by ourselves, like your voice, the more you're saying, like I focus then on what you're saying and I imagine the breath. When I'm doing it by myself, I feel like I can't get out of the headspace to go there, to right. Get there on my own. So I don't know if it's like listen to meditation apps or calm apps or something, but how can we do this on our own?
You can listen to whatever guided meditation helps. And again, give yourself permission. If you are just starting a practice, it's okay to move. It's okay to have a thought. All of that is part of the experience. Your body learns from all of it. Come back to the breath. Come back to this is the inhale. This is the exhale. And for a lot of people, using the word inhale, exhale can be enough. And for other people, they need the whole thing laid out for them so that they can close their eyes and focus on something outside of themselves to redirect back in.
Yeah.
It just depends. And Headspace is a great meditation app. There are all kinds of meditation apps for all kinds of different people. You just have to kind of find what works for you. YouTube has really great meditation music. Binaural Beats is one that I love. Power Thoughts Meditation Club is another one that I love. And then Meditative Mind.
Okay.
I use a lot of very quiet music in my class. There's no lyrics. It's all instrumental. And I love music that is tuned to 4-3-2. That bases our nervous system. It calms everything in our body. Most of the radio music that we listen to is 420. It's tuned to 420, which is erratic. And I could go down a whole rabbit hole of how sound vibration physically changes cell structure, but I won't. Just trust me, it does.
Yes.
4-3-2 is what you want to start calming that physical response.
Okay, so how do you find like the solfeggio healing frequencies or
solfeggio, Power Thoughts meditation, Meditative Mind, all of that music is tuned to 4-3-2. That's why I use it.
Okay, Wendy, does that answer your question? Wendy said she's 15 months into withdrawals and she's lost a 20-year yoga practice, which what I love so much about this is that for all of us, I can look back on my 6 years of withdrawals and there's this I could have done at any part. You know, like in some parts of yoga I would not have been able to do, nor would I would have wanted to enter a studio to do that. But this yoga, we can do right now.
Yeah.
So hopefully Angelique's ideas that she just
I was just reading in the comments. Yes, it's 4-3-2 hertz. It's the sound frequency. Yes.
And then Heather asked, how do you spell? It's Solveggio, I believe is the Solveggio one. I listened to it on Alexa.
Hold on. It's solfeggio.
Yeah, with G's.
I just spelled it in the comments.
Okay, perfect. Yes. And I listened to it on Alexa, so it's free.
Yes.
I didn't know about the 4-3-2 though, so I'm not sure how to request that.
Yeah, and like I said, a lot of popular music is tuned to 420 hertz, and that's a very erratic, jarring frequency to our nervous system. So stick with 4-3-2, whatever you do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yep. And then Angie just said on Facebook, she was saying she was anxious at first, not feeling able to breathe properly, but then as it continued, she was able to concentrate. Yes, and sometimes we can't breathe through our nose. So I always want to know this in class. Is it okay to be breathing through our mouth, our nose? Like sometimes I feel like I have to out of my mouth.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'll tell you, in traditional yoga practice, you breathe through the nose because there are nerve endings at the back of the throat. Breathing through the nose sends the breath, the physical sensation of the breath, to those nerve endings. So it's a very subtle sensation. And a lot of time, I'm a dental hygienist in my day job. when I give patients certain injections, they can't feel that sensation anymore, and they literally think they're not breathing anymore. They just don't realize that they feel that all the time until it's gone. You can feel that sensation if you breathe through your mouth.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll get it. It's just that sometimes solely breathing through the nose, it's an auditory cue. You can hear it better, and you can feel it just a little bit better. But if you have to breathe through your mouth, absolutely breathe through your mouth. You have permission to run your practice however you need to run your practice. It's your breath, it's your body. You do what works for you.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
I'm someone, I think I used to be an achievement addict. I'm a recovering achievement addict and topical steroid withdrawal person. I must have addictions,
Yeah.
but I love the permission, because I always want to understand the best way or the right way. But then also it's the intuition that most of us who are in this community, that's why we're here, because our intuition told us something wasn't right for our bodies.
Yes.
We knew we needed to do something for ourselves that may
Yes.
go against the grain. So I love the permission to trust yourself and know what you need and how you need it. So unless anybody has any final questions, I just am so thankful, Angelique, that we were able to do this, and to the community for coming together. I'll post the recording on our Facebook, and so you guys can redo this as many times. Just fast forward to the breathing parts.
Yeah.
Do it as many times as you want, and then we'll obviously post some of those. Angelique, would you email me just a couple names of those sites that you said in particular?
Yeah, absolutely.
Meditation one, so that would be great.
And I'll go to YouTube and send you links.
Okay, perfect. Just a couple, just so we can all go to YouTube and search, but if there are some that are your favorites, that would be awesome. So, all right, we got one more question. Let me see. Oh, yes. Wendy just asked if this would be available. So yes, Wendy, and I think we're still getting all of our ITSAN stuff up on YouTube as well. So
good. Okay.
Make sure that it's up there. So we'll be the YouTube that you can go to get support. So, all right, everyone, I wish you so much healing. Take a nap, drink some water, sit outside, whatever feels good. I think the whole idea that Angelique just mentioned about we have permission globally right now to stay home, stay comfortable, wear whatever you want or don't want, and relax and just be as well as you can find yourself. So thank you, Angelique, for your gift today and being with us, and to everyone out there in ITSAN land, you're going to get better. Look, the proof is here. We will all heal. So any parting words for us, Angelique?
Just thank you so much. Like I said, I'm so honored to be here with you all. I am usually on social media, but not until Easter is done and over. So after April 10th, I'll have I'll be posting things again. On Facebook, I'm Angelique Rainey. And as soon as I can get back on, I'd like to go ahead and join your group. And that way, whoever has questions, you can always message me on Facebook Messenger. I'm on Instagram and Twitter as Angelique, CRANGELIQUECR. Other than that, you can always forward emails to me if people have questions. I'd love to be able to do this again. So whatever you all need, please let me know. It would be my pleasure.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste. Take care.